Brian Lower, Right at Home Realty. So you're thinking about buying on the water. Good. Let's have a nice, thorough talk about that. I'm not here to convince you to do it or not do it. I just want to go over the pros and cons. A lot of people fall in love with waterfront property. What's there not to love? You've got swimming area, you have boating area, you have fishing, you have water skiing, kayaking, canoeing, bonfires. In the winter, you have snowmobiling, cross-country skiing, snowshoeing. There's a lot to do out on the water. But there are also negative points, which we'll get to in a few minutes. But if you're looking for quality of life, this is great. Waking up on the water, does something for you. There's no way around it. A real gathering place. The kids, the grandkids, everybody, all your friends, the neighbors, we all get together. Often we have street parties, over 100 people at some of our parties. On our street, we have anywhere from 3 to 8 or 10 a year. This year we've already had 3 or 4, and the year's not even halfway through. So, yeah, we love it. Are the neighbors there to help each other? Absolutely. When there's a storm, trees go down across the road, we're all out there with our chainsaws, bucking up the trees, clearing the path, making sure that the guys from Hydro can get in to get our power back on, because that's one of the negatives. Power can stay off a long time. Last year we had power outage, and we were one of the last people in the province of Ontario to get our power back. We were out 11 days. Now, if you have a generator that automatically turns on and keeps running, that's wonderful. You keep your power for those 11 days. The bad part is, it costs between $600 and $1,000 worth of propane to run your furnace and that generator during those 10 or 11 days. I know people who spend over $700 just in propane. So you have to weigh the pros and cons. A good power system, but generator backup, can cost you $15,000 to $20,000 if you want to do the whole house. Again, it's another expense if it's not already there when you buy the property. So these are things you got to look at. Long-term value. Property, especially waterfront property. They're not making any more, as they say. It will go up. But will it be next week? Next year? 5 years from now? 10 years from now? 10 to 20 years, you can really expect you're going to have some growth. What we do get is we get a little bit more stabilization. Apart from COVID, where prices went crazy, they went up. Now they've come back down to a more natural level. But after that, unless we have another COVID or something else crazy again, where nobody can predict the prices of waterfront, your waterfront should stay stable and increase slowly over the years. Banks do a conservative evaluation and figure anywhere between a 1% and 3% growth per year. Okay. It's very conservative, but they're in the business of lending money against that property. So, yeah, they're going to be conservative. Now, what about the costs? How do you evaluate that? I know the real estate agents everywhere do CMAs, but those are not really comparing apples with apples. No two properties are alike. No two waterfronts are alike. So how do you really evaluate it? I like using an evaluation for the property itself, and then a per square foot cost to build that existing property, to get a little bit of a number where I can start looking around and seeing, where we're sitting. And from there, you've got to look at the finishes and the upgrades. Are the bathrooms all done? Has this place been renovated since 1970? How's the septic? Is it in good condition? Will you have to replace it? Does the basement flood every year? All these questions have to be looked at and answered. So, yeah, the lifestyle is wonderful. And if you like the lifestyle like I do, all the negatives in the world won't stop me from having a place like this, because it's just way too comfortable. I enjoy it. My wife goes into the city and spends 2 weeks there and then comes back here and spends 2 weeks here. I don't go. I'm basically here for 6 to 7 months of the year. I enjoy it. I work in this area. I have great neighbors. I have nice waterfront. We live to fish, so we go out fishing as often as possible. Just last night, I caught a 3-pound bass. It was great. It was fun. Now, it was a little windy, a little choppy, but we ended up getting lucky and getting a nice little fish. A lot of people do catch and release. Others catch and keep. Each to his own. I don't care what anyone does. As long as they enjoy it, they follow the rules, they have their fishing license, their boating license, and they're careful around other boaters. That's the important thing. What are the real cons of owning a waterfront property? Maintenance. It's a big con. There's a lot of work. It's not just cutting the grass. If you live in a log home like I do, I had to sandblast all the logs and re-chink them about 4 years ago. That was a major 8-week undertaking. Now, not everyone lives in a log home, and they're very, very difficult to resell afterwards. So you've got to think about that if you're looking at one. But the work is there. Trees. I've lived here 16 years. I have lost 15 trees. Not little trees. All 50, 60 footers. I've had to cut them up. I've had to clean up the area. I've had to spend money on arborists. I've had to do things that I never have had to do in the city. These are things that you have to worry about. Water. Water came up this year. Water came up to, halfway up to our front door. We were wondering how high it was going to continue to come. If your sump pump doesn't work, your basement will fill. So you need to make sure you have a backup. If we have a power failure and you don't have a generator and your sump pump doesn't work because you have no electricity, and the water fills up. Most people don't realize that their sump pump's not going to work until there's a power failure, it's in the spring, and the basement's filling up with water. So yeah, there are issues that you don't have in the city. But then the campfires, the sitting around and singing, the grandchildren making s'mores, eating marshmallows, burning sticks that they've never done, learning how to drive tractors, learning how to drive ATVs. They'll soon be learning how to drive boats. Everybody has something new that they learn. Can you live with the mosquitoes? Can you live with the black flies? Do you have mosquitoes all year? Well, it depends where you are. I'm in a very lucky position whereby we have a wind tunnel coming through where our house is. And it seems to blow away all the mosquitoes and the black flies. In fact, my wife said, I'm not allowed to sell this place if I want to buy another one, because we'll never find another place with as few or as little mosquitoes and black flies as there are here. So those are things that, everybody looks at. Money, budget. That's where you need a good real estate agent to help you walk through it. Make sure you don't look at properties that you can't afford. Then you're disappointed in everything else. Make sure that you look at properties that fulfill your needs. Look at the distance from where your existing house is. There's a lot to cover. Nobody tells you up front unless you ask the question. You got to bring the garbage to the dump every week. Oh, it's kind of cool the first 1 or 2 times, especially if there are bears in the dump. Now they kind of regulate that a little bit more. But, when I first started coming here, we would go out there to see the bears. Now, they use different methods to scare the bears away so that you don't see them in the dump. But I'm still there every week, bringing my garbage. Not bringing it to the end of the driveway. I've got to go about 10, 12 kilometers to get to the dump, get in line to unload, and I still got to recycle. So the dump isn't just dump everything. It's still recycling. And then there's certain things you can't bring, certain things you can only bring on a Sunday. And you got all these rules that you have to follow. So that's not as pleasant. And in my household, I'm the one who does it. I have no other volunteers. I can guarantee you that. Nobody wants to go and do it. So there you go. But again, would I trade this life for city life? No, never. But I'm born like this. I love this. I love being at the lake. I love pulling out my chainsaw and doing work. I don't mind that at all. But you have to decide, is that for you? So we'll cover some other areas another day. But today, just a few things as a food for thought. Brian Lower, Right at Home Realty.